Overall, the labor market appears to be in solid condition and broadly in balance, and is not a significant source of inflationary pressure. As for our price stability mandate, inflation has significantly eased from its pandemic highs of mid-2022 without the kind of painful rise in unemployment that has frequently accompanied efforts to bring down high inflation.
Trade policies, in some places, may boost inflation again while weakening economic growth. Any central bank with a mandate that includes both price and employment stability will face very difficult choices.
And, my hope is that we'll get through this and get back. Well, we're always going to be aiming for maximum employment and price stability. That's what we do. Again, to your question, is the administration is, as I mentioned in my remarks, is implementing significant policy changes, and particularly trade now is the focus. And the effects of that are likely to move us away from our goals. So unemployment is likely to go up as the economy slows in all likelihood, and inflation is likely to go up as tariffs find their way, and some part of those tariffs come to be paid by the public.
When monetary policy outcomes are poor, the Fed should be subjected to serious questioning, strong oversight, and even opprobrium. But a narrow central bank, we have to recognize, has more going for it than mere tradition. Our constitutional republic is accepting of an independent central bank only if it sticks to its congressionally directed duty and successfully performs its task. Ours is, after all, our third experiment in the U.S. with a central bank, not because of the success of its predecessors, but their failure. We don't become the third central bank the way you win a third Super Bowl, like keep at it, and we keep giving you more. It's the third because we've struggled with the questions that are in the current policy conjuncture since the founding of the Republic. And what's my historical lesson from those old fights about the Bank of the United States? We should remember the revealed preference of the body politic is a deep distaste for inflation, also for bailouts and power grabs. The governance objectives, it strikes me, is clear. It's to make the central bank safe for democracy, not to make democracy safe for the central bank. So in conclusion, before Raghu comes up here and asks me a series of tough questions, I should say the Fed's current wounds are largely self-inflicted, and its plot armor isn't what it once was. A strategic reset is necessary, now more than ever, to mitigate losses of credibility, changes in standing, and most important, worse economic outcomes for our fellow citizens. Now, this all might strike you as quite a surprise to hear, because we central bankers are trained to be careful with our critiques, lest the daylight reveal the magic. A bigger risk, it strikes me, is that of the sorcerer's apprentice, the misuse of magical powers producing trouble. Assembled in this room are dear friends who served with me in the financial crisis, colleagues who served with me on the G30, who are doing their best in our country and around the world to strengthen the economy, to ensure duty to its remits in various places. We're stewards of good and important purposes. We can ill afford the closing of the monetary mind. And if anything today, what I hope for is a richer discourse and a richer inquiry. We should be a bit less worried about violating pieties, prepared to endure periodic frowns of disapproval, because the benefits are huge. We can reclaim our intellectual freedom. We can get policy back on track. We can get stable prices and strong economic outcomes. Central bank legitimacy demands nothing less. I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. Raghu, please come on up and rough me up a bit.
People say, how can you trust the Fed to do the bookkeeping? I mean, like I say, my response is, you don't expect the Fed to kind of steal your money. I mean, if the Fed can print all the money it wants, it's not going to mess around with your bookkeeping. So, we have this big spreadsheet, the blockchain if you want, but it's just managed by the Fed. And it's very cheap, much cheaper than Bitcoin, if you're willing to delegate the responsibility to a third party. But then the downsides to all of that, of course, is you'd actually, suppose you didn't want the Fed to be responsible for processing the payments. I mean, suppose, the Fed will likely impose some KYC restrictions on some purchases. They might not process some purchases that you might want to undertake. And so it was at that point that I said, well, we could, if we wanted to, extend the concept one step further. I'm not saying that this is ever going to happen, but just conceptually, you could imagine not Fed wired for all, but kind of like a Fed coin, where what the Fed would do is actually just issue these, Bitcoin-like objects, but and they would enforce a par exchange rate with the U.S. dollar. That would eliminate the exchange rate volatility. But they could delegate the clearing of these payments to some third party, some sort of Ripple-like protocol. Or
others was like the rise of other CBDCs. So I do work in the US. We work with the Fed.
Jackpot, bitch! Mainnet, bitch! I'm rich, bitch! Millionaire, bitch! Billionaire, bitch! Trillionaire, bitch! Quadrillionaire, bitch! 50,000x, bitch! 100,000x, motherfucker! Ching, ching, motherfucker! Slice and dice, bitch! Unlimited and boundless prosperity and riches is coming your way now. It's coming your way, motherfuckers! Get ready!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.